What's the first thing you think of when you hear the word survival? For most it's food, but in reality, water is far more critical. Water, the lifeblood of survival, is often underestimated and overlooked. It's easy to focus on filling our pantries with canned goods and freeze-dried meals, but how many of us have given the same attention to our water storage? It's time to rectify this common mistake. Each person needs at least 1 gallon of water per day for drinking and sanitation. That's 7 gallons a week, 30 gallons a month. Now multiply that by the number of people in your household. The numbers add up quickly, don't they? And storing water isn't just about having enough bottles or jugs. It's about ensuring the water stays safe and potable. Consider water purification methods and secure, durable containers. Don't fall into the trap of neglecting your water supplies. Remember, you can survive weeks without food, but only days without water. In the rush to stockpile food and water, it's easy to overlook another crucial aspect of survival: medication. Imagine a scenario where you're hunkering down, safe from the chaos outside, but then a headache sets in or an allergy flares up. It's these seemingly small issues that can escalate quickly without the right medication at hand. Prescription medications are a lifeline for those with chronic illnesses. A disruption in their supply can have dire consequences. Similarly, common over-the-counter drugs like painkillers, antihistamines, and anti-diarrheal meds can manage minor health issues that might otherwise become major problems in a crisis. Don't forget about first aid supplies either, like bandages, antiseptics, and tools for basic wound care. These can be instrumental in treating injuries when professional medical help may not be immediately available. When it comes to your health, don't leave it to chance. Ensure you have a well-stocked medication supply to weather any storm. When we think of survival supplies, our minds often jump to food and water. But what about the non-food essentials? It's easy to overlook items like toilet paper, hygiene products, and other non-food essentials when we're focused on the basics. But imagine a crisis situation without these items. Discomfort becomes a daily reality, and health risks can quickly escalate. Toilet paper might seem trivial until you're faced with a shortage. And consider hygiene products. They're not just about cleanliness, they're about preventing infection and disease. Then there are the items that don't fit neatly into any category, but are still vital. Batteries, matches, tools. These are the things that can make the difference between just surviving and maintaining a level of comfort and dignity. So when you're building your survival stockpile, remember to include these non-food essentials. They might not be the first things you think of, but they're just as important as food and water. Remember, survival isn't just about staying alive, it's about maintaining a basic level of comfort and dignity. Prepping isn't a one-size-fits-all endeavor. What works in one region might not work in another. It's a common pitfall to prepare for general disasters without considering the specific threats unique to your locality. If you're living on the Florida coast, hurricanes and flooding should be high on your radar. On the other hand, if you're nestled in California, you should be ready for earthquakes and wildfires. Every geographical region comes with its own set of risks, and your preparation must reflect this reality. Your survival kit for a tornado-prone area would look significantly different from one designed for a region prone to blizzards. It's not just about having the right tools, but understanding how and when to use them based on the disaster at hand. Understanding the lay of the land, the local climate, and the potential natural and man-made threats can go a long way in ensuring your survival. Don't let a lack of local knowledge be your downfall. Understand your area's risks and plan accordingly. Bug-out bags are a staple of the prepper community, but is that all you need to survive a disaster? You might think that having a well-packed bug-out bag is enough, but here's the thing. The bag is only as good as the plan behind it. Sure, a bug-out bag can be a lifesaver in a quick evacuation, but what if evacuation isn't an option? What if instead you need to hunker down and weather the storm? That's where home preparation comes into play. And sadly, it's an aspect that's often overlooked. Stocking up on food and water, securing the premises, ensuring a sustainable heat source. These are all crucial aspects of home preparation. And don't forget about first aid supplies or ways to communicate with the outside world. So while your bug-out bag is undoubtedly important, don't neglect the necessity of preparing your home for potential disasters. Remember, your bug-out bag is your plan B. Your home is your plan A. Make sure it's ready to withstand whatever comes its way. In a crisis, cash is king. But are you financially prepared for a disaster? The harsh reality is, many of us aren't. When the grid goes down and digital transactions become a thing of the past, Having cash on hand could mean the difference between getting by and going without. It's crucial to keep a stash of cash for those times when credit cards are useless and ATMs are just metal boxes. And let's not forget about securing important financial documents. They're your lifeline to the world you once knew and will be indispensable when things return to normal. Consider the potential issues during emergencies where banking services are disrupted. Without access to your accounts or the ability to make electronic transactions, how will you pay for the essentials? Don't let a lack of financial preparation be your downfall. Secure your assets and ensure you have enough cash to see you through. Having the right tools can make the difference between survival and disaster. But do you know how to use them? It's not uncommon for preppers to invest in advanced survival gear, only to remain unfamiliar with its operation. This is a mistake that can cost lives when disaster strikes. Imagine trying to start a fire with a magnesium fire starter in freezing temperatures, or attempting to use a portable water filter when dehydration looms. These tasks are simple with practice, but under duress, unfamiliarity breeds panic. Likewise, complex tools like hand-crank generators or ham radios can seem daunting. But remember, every piece of equipment is designed to be used even by novices. Invest time to understand your tools. Read the manuals, watch tutorial videos, and most importantly, practice using them. Remember, a tool is only as good as the person using it. Make sure you know how to use your equipment before disaster strikes. When disaster strikes, communication is key, but what happens when the cell phones and internet stop working? In the throes of a crisis, a reliable communication plan is not just important, it's a lifeline. It's the thread that connects you to the outside world, to help, to your family. Yet it's a thread that many preppers overlook, leaving them isolated when they can least afford to be. Imagine this. Your city is hit by a massive power outage, your cell phone is nothing more than a paperweight, and the internet is a distant memory. How will you reach out to your loved ones? How will you call for help? The answer lies in preparation. Having a backup communication strategy like a battery-powered radio or even a set of walkie-talkies could be a game changer. Don't let a lack of communication be your downfall. Plan ahead and ensure you can stay connected when it matters most. Having a plan is one thing. Executing it is another. It's the 9th common mistake preppers make, neglecting to practice evacuation plans and drills. Now, you might have the most detailed, meticulously crafted evacuation plan, but without practice it's just ink on paper. Imagine the chaos that can ensue when disaster strikes and you're trying to remember which turn to take or where you've stashed that crucial piece of equipment. It's like studying for an exam but never taking a mock test. You see, practice is what turns your plan into a well-rehearsed dance, where everyone knows their steps, timing, and cues. It helps identify any potential hiccups, allowing you to tweak and perfect your plan. Have you ever heard of a firefighter or a soldier going into the field without drills? Of course not. It's the drills that build the muscle memory, the familiarity, and the confidence needed in high-stress situations. Remember, practice makes perfect. Don't wait for disaster to strike to test your plan. Prepping isn't a one-time task. It's a continuous process. The importance of regularly reviewing and updating your emergency plan and supplies cannot be overstated. Let's say you've spent countless hours putting together an impeccable plan, but then you put it on a shelf and forget about it. What happens when disaster strikes a year, 2 years, or 5 years down the line? That canned food you stored, it's expired. The medical supplies you packed away, they're outdated. The strategies you meticulously crafted, they're irrelevant to the current situation. You see, the world around us is always changing. New threats emerge while old ones fade away. Technologies evolve. Personal circumstances change. That's why it's crucial to revisit your plan regularly and adjust it as necessary. You need to check your supplies, replace expired items, and adapt your strategies to reflect the changing landscape around you. Remember, an outdated plan can be as dangerous as no plan at all. Stay current, stay safe. Survival isn't a solo endeavor, it's a team effort. This is especially true when it comes to prepping for emergencies. You may have meticulously crafted plans for every possible scenario, but if your family members and close friends are not in the loop, your efforts could end up in chaos. Involving your loved ones in the planning process is essential. It ensures that everyone knows what to do, where to go, and how to act when disaster strikes. Just imagine the confusion and panic if everyone is running in different directions, with no clear plan or coordination. It's a recipe for disaster in itself, so involve your family in your planning. Discuss the plan with your neighbors too. In times of crisis, a united community is far stronger than an individual. Remember, survival is a group effort. Involve your loved ones in your planning and ensure everyone is on the same page.